How common are cases of indigenous land rights disputes in Taiwan's southeast?
It's not a new issues, but it's a very continuing conflict between the maybe the idea of the development and then idea of the preservation and the continuance of the indigenous cultures. Taiwan economically less developed than other parts of Taiwan, which means the county government, even the central government, would make some of the project to help to support the local economic development. But usually, for in the past, the county government usually will expel or leave out of indigenous voices or indigenous participations.
How hard is it for local governments to balance both economic development and protecting indigenous rights and cultures?
I would say there's always a way to balance the different interests, but the first thing is we must acknowledge the core stakeholder, which refers to the local indigenous peoples, especially when we have achieved to get the recognition of indigenous traditional territories in the indigenous peoples basket law. Not every government are on the same page. If you have been hostile to the county government, then they might take another approach, trying to expel the indigenous claims.
Our reporting shows that although Taiwan law protects indigenous people's rights, communities still come across problems in reality. So, are these laws working?
It is not indigenous people's law not working. It is the other system is not working, or the county government trying to make the other legislation not working. Because in the existing legislations, if any indigenous people have any land claims, we can trace back to their ancestral occupation, and then there's a law to make the existing indigenous people to make a lawful application to make the land become the indigenous reserve land. But there's one requirement, which means the managing parties, which means that the managing government official agencies, they have to agree to demarcate the specific land to be designated as the indigenous people's reserve land.